Bad luck can befall anyone, however, sometimes it's more than that. Throughout history, objects of ill fortune have passed on through the generations, but while most people would simply rid themselves of such an object that's caused immense pain and suffering, sometimes it's not so easy, as the object in question is in fact an extremely valuable jewel. Here are 10 cursed jewels that could kill you. Number 10 is the Star of India. The largest known gem-quality blue star sapphire in the world is known as the Star of India. It's named this after the pattern that's visible on it. The only thing known about its origin is that it was mined under mysterious circumstances in Sri Lanka some 300 years before it appeared in a gem collection at the Paris Exposition in 1900. But wherever it came from before that, a curse tagged along for the ride. The golf ball-sized sapphire has been known to cause incredible bad luck to anyone who acquires it, and it almost seems to enjoy changing hands for that very reason. Such was the case on October 29, 1964, when 3 men broke into a museum where the stone was on display and simply walked off with it. The oddest thing about this story is that of the jewels taken, including the star, none were insured, and the batteries in the security camera just happened to be dead. Shortly after the theft, they were arrested and the stones were recovered and placed back in the museum, almost as if waiting for someone else to steal them. What's especially rare about this situation is that the thieves actually escaped owning the jewel with their lives, unlike many of those who acquired it before them. Number 9 is the Black Prince's Ruby. Often referred to as the Great Imposter, the Black Prince's Ruby is the large stone in the center of England's imperial state crown, a stone which is not a ruby at all but a red spinel. Given to the Black Prince, Edward of Woodstock in the 14th century, the ruby previously belonged to the Sultan of Granada and was literally taken off of his body by his murderer, the King of Castile. However, shortly after receiving the stone, Edward contracted a mysterious illness which took his life. Since that time, numerous deaths have been associated with the Black Prince's Ruby, including Richard III, who apparently died at the Battle of Bosworth while wearing it. For the moment, it actually appears as if the curse is taking a break, but which royal family member will be its focus again when it starts is anyone's guess. For this reason, the imperial state crown rarely makes a public appearance for fear that it will take another life. Number 8 is the Blue Diamond. The Blue Diamond is one of the most mysterious gems on the planet. The bizarre events surrounding this stone are most definitely in the realm of curses. In 1989, a caretaker working for the Saudi royal family stole a number of small jewels, but when he was caught and the stones were returned, it was revealed that one was missing, the Blue Diamond. Almost immediately after the gem was stolen, people involved in the case began disappearing or turning up dead. Even the officer in charge of the investigation was executed in 1995. Number 7 is the Regent. Legend has it that in 1698, a slave working the koh-i-noor mine in India decided to steal what would later be named the Regent Diamond, hiding the stone inside a leg wound that he'd sustained and escaping with it. He'd made a deal with an English sea captain, but was betrayed when the Englishman drowned him so that he could sell the diamond and keep all of the money for himself. However, before dying, the slave cursed the Regent Diamond, and that curse has had an effect on all of those who owned it ever since. The stone has been stolen multiple times, and whenever it was recovered, it seemed to bring with it even worse luck. In 1812, Napoleon Bonaparte had the diamond placed in the pommel of his sword, only to be defeated and see the sword be given to his enemies. Number 6 is the SHAH diamond. The Shah diamond is not the most beautiful gem, nor is it anywhere near the most valuable, but what it lacks in looks and value, it more than makes up for in its bloody history and the darkness that it bestows on those who own it. The diamond was originally taken by the great Mughal Akbar, the ruler of northern India, in 1591 from a conquered region. He and one of his descendants had inscriptions put into the jewel, but in 1738 the Shah diamond was seized by a Persian ruler, staying in his family line until 1829. That's when Alexander Griboyedov, a Russian diplomat and writer, was murdered on Persian soil. To appease the Russians' call for severe punishment, the diamond was given to Nicholas I, the Tsar. Like clockwork, every single time that the Shah diamond changes hands, it changes hands in a bloody way. Number 5 is the Sancerre diamond. A favorite among European royalty, the Sancerre diamond comes with a curse that not only brings misfortune, but somehow enhances the greed of whoever holds it. The diamond originated somewhere in India, but its first known owner was Charles the Bold, the Duke of Burgundy. After trading hands to other royal men, including Manuel I of Portugal, the Sancerre diamond seemed to begin handing out the worst luck. A thief stole it from Portugal, but it wound up being found in the stomach of a murdered royal messenger. He swallowed it to stop it from being discovered by his attackers, who appeared to somehow be drawn to it without knowing why. The Sancerre diamond can actually be found today, on display at the Apollo Gallery at the Louvre. But if you're visiting, perhaps don't get too close. Number 4 is the Delhi Purple Sapphire. In 1857, mutiny seized the country of India, and the Delhi Purple Sapphire was stolen from the Temple of Indra. The sapphire was brought by Colonel W. Ferris to England, where suddenly his family began experiencing health and financial troubles, and even a friend committed suicide while holding on to the gem. In 1890, the sapphire was purchased by Edward Heron Allen, who, after a series of his own misfortunes, hurled the jewel into a canal, only to have it miraculously returned to him. Then, in 1943, the Delhi Purple Sapphire was willed to the Natural History Museum, and stayed there until 2004, when John Whitaker was asked to bring it to an event. Whitaker tried to travel with it 3 separate times, but was engulfed in a horrible thunderstorm, fell ill with a stomach bug, and then passed a kidney stone. Terrifyingly, those last 2 events almost took his life. Number 3 is the Black Orlov. While the origins of the Eye of Brahma, better known as the Black Orlov diamond, are debated, what's clear is that it's a dangerous jewel to own. There's a legend about the Black Orlov that says that it was stolen from a statue of the Hindu god Brahma, in which the diamond was one of its eyes. The theft brought upon it a curse that has cost countless lives. One of its first owners, J.W. Paris, a diamond dealer, leapt off a skyscraper in New York City in 1932. The next 2 owners were both Russian princesses, one of which was Nadia Orlov, for whom the diamond was named. Both of these women individually jumped off of buildings to their deaths in the 1940s. That led its next owner, Charles F. Winston, to cut the jewel into 3 pieces, in an attempt to break the horrible curse. Number 2 is the koh-i-noor diamond. As one of the largest cut diamonds on the planet, the koh-i-noor diamond's incredible value should draw any person to want it. However, by owning it, that person would apparently soon fall under a curse. Believed to have been taken from the Golcondas mine in India, the koh-i-noor, which means mountain of light in Persian, remained with many Indian dynasties until it fell into the hands of Babur, the first emperor of the Mughal Empire, and then Shah Jahan, the emperor behind the construction of the Taj Mahal. Soon after Jahan had the diamond placed in his peacock throne, his own son staged a coup and had the elder man imprisoned. Numerous rulers got their hands on the koh-i-noor after that, many of them meeting untimely deaths, until it was finally given to Queen Victoria of Britain in 1849 and hasn't killed a man since. And number 1 is the Hope Diamond. Widely considered to be the world's most famous cursed jewel, the Hope Diamond is said to have originally been stolen from a Hindu idol and then sold to a French trader. As the gem made its way from hand to hand among French royalty, a pattern began to emerge amongst those who owned it. Marie Antoinette and King Louis XVI were beheaded. Princess de Lamballe was killed by a mob who beat her mercilessly, and Jacques Collet committed suicide. The diamond's curse has been responsible for literally dozens of deaths, madness, and loss of wealth. Today, it's on display inside the Washington National Museum of Natural History, where it hopefully will not be able to continue its murder spree. And that's it. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more like it in the future, subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications for my new uploads. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.